Hey guys, thanks for joining us for another Tuesday night Niagara Broadsword Academy lessons, beginner lessons. We're going to be going over right now with you just some beginner footwork, and then on Thursday we're going to be working through some more advanced footwork. So we're going to lay out for you exactly how we set up the beginner footwork in our basic lessons. So let's get started. You're going to start off and you're going to have your back foot at 90 degrees here, and then you're going to have your front foot face straight forward. And this back foot is going to be pointed towards the wall. Front foot pointed away from the other wall behind you is the best way to keep track of it. Now, there are a couple of tips that I wanted to give you guys to get your footwork started, especially if you're working from home or you're working remotely, so that you don't have someone else watching you. So make sure you grab your own camera and do a couple of videos of yourself going through this footwork, because it will really help you spot these errors and these problems that you might come into. Okay, so the first thing that I want you to do is, if we can get a little movie magic to place a line behind my feet here, I want you to see clearly that this line on the floor runs directly this way between my feet and up that way. So my foot doesn't cross that line this way, and my foot's not on this side of the line. So we've got a little bit of space there, and this is our regimental footwork. There are other forms of footwork that might have you on a single line emanating from this foot, but the point here is that we have some space in between our 2 feet. Okay, this gives us a little bit more stability with where we're moving around, and it allows this foot to pass behind your back foot. Okay, so this we're going to call our second position. Your feet are shoulder width apart. It's nice and easy for you. Now, as we step back here to first position, you're going to put the balls of your feet right where your heel is, and you're not going to click your heels. You're not going to touch your feet against each other. You're going to bring them together this way, and you're going to stand in that way. Make sure these are at 90 degrees from each other, and that you're faced forward to fight this way. So this is your first position. The furthest thing forward in your body at this point should be your hips, right? So this, when you step back this way, should be your hand, obviously, and then your hips. So that's where you should be in this position. Let's take a look from the side here. This foot faced off this way, this foot straight forward. Again, I have space between my feet here, so that when I step back, just like that, this is the position that I'm in. So this is my first position, and we step forward into second position. Now what we're going to zero in for you guys a little bit is to make sure that you're stepping toes up. Okay? So whenever I'm moving from here to here and back, we're going to make sure we raise those toes as we do that. Okay? So toes up when we step forward and back. Okay, so I want you to practice that a little bit, just stepping from second to first. And you can do it in both directions. What I mean by that is you can try and avoid a strike by stepping back, and you can try, if you're in first position, to make a strike by stepping forward into second position. When you do that, here's 2 more tips. One, I want to make sure that my weight is on my back leg all the time. Okay, so the front leg, you shouldn't lock the knee in, but the front leg should have very little weight on it, and the weight should be back, even in second position. So first position is here, second position is here, not here. Okay, so here we are in second position. The next thing, when we step back, I want you to feel how far back you can go comfortably. For me, it's here, and then I get a stretch in my leg. Okay, so this is the position with my heel down that I can stand in fairly comfortably. So this is the position that I can go with my heel up. That's as far back as my first position can be. So in this position, actually, my hand is behind my foot. So the furthest thing forward is my foot in this position for me. This is as far back as I want to go in my first position. And I never want to push it further back than this, because if someone drives against me and I step too far back, like here for example, and they push, that's going to really hurt my back leg there. So you want to make sure that that first position, whatever you're comfortable with, even if it's just here and you feel some twisting in the hips or some problems in your leg, go as far back as you can with your heel down, and then bring your heel up, and that's your first position very far back. Okay? The second position, first, just like this. And you can throw it a little further back to avoid something, and then you can throw it forward to make it happen. Okay? And that's all you're going to do. And the whole time, remember, toes up. Really focus on the toes up. Take a video of yourself doing these sorts of positions and just check your own stance. Make sure from this angle that you're not crossing this foot over as you step forward, like this, that you're on a nice straight line the whole time, that you have space between your feet, okay, that you're not clicking your heels as you come in, bang, 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 always hitting your feet, don't do that. So you're not clipping your heels and not leaning forward and leaning back and leaning forward, don't do that. You want to keep it nice and regimental, like this. And of course the last thing is pick the toes up, drop the heel down, just like that, both directions. Toes up, heel down. Okay, so do yourself a favor, videotape yourself doing that. You can post it and I'll check it for you, or you can just do as much of that as you want. And check for yourself those key points. So those are the key points off of first and second position. Now, what I want you to do is step forward into your nice solid second position when we're set up. Once you've done all those other exercises, and from here, I want you to put the blade of your sword or stick or whatever you're using down on your toe, or mark the toe, or just look at on the ground where it is. And I want you to just put your heel there, okay? That's as far as we're going to go, and that's going to be our third position. That's our lunge for now, okay? So as a beginner, the step from second position to third position is just one step. That's all you're doing, okay? And your weight is still going to be relatively behind. It's not going to be centered, and it's not going to be forward. It's going to be behind center, and that's your third position, okay? We'll move into other footwork in the future, but for now, that's all we're going to do. So here you've got your second position, making sure you pick the toe up, step all the way into third, keep your weight back, step back to second, first, and so on. Now you can move through all these positions and make sure that you're not doing any of the errors that we were talking about before, as far as crossing this line goes, stepping too far back, or stepping too far forward. Make sure that you've got this position completely, all three of these positions completely under control. You can transfer between any of the three positions without any problems. And again, video yourself doing it and watch out for things like pushing, and watch out for things like stepping too far back, and for leaning, okay? And if you like, of course, just send me those videos and I'll look them over for you. So the last thing we're going to do to get started on our beginner footwork is all we're going to do is we're going to start moving. So I want you in first position, step out to second, and then bring that back leg up to first. And now, as you can see, we're on our way. So second position first, second position first, second position first. Now here's where you might run into the same problems. So again, video yourself, pay attention to what you're doing, and make sure when you go second position first, second position, you're not pushing off the toes, but you're peeling the foot off still. First, just like this, and this is how we're moving everywhere. Even when we're moving back, make sure you're bringing that foot up like that. Make sure you're not, as you're stepping back, clicking your heels, because especially if you're moving back, that's going to cause you to stumble. So from second position first, and so on, make sure those heels don't click when you're coming forward too. Don't do that. Same problem, you'll stumble forward. So when you're comfortable with second and first position to move around, then just throw third position in there. Third position, step forward. Now remember, when you step back on third, it's easy to peel the foot up. But when you're stepping forward into third, don't lean like this to scoot that back leg up, right? We don't want to step into third and lean and then pull that back foot up. Instead, what we're trying to do is second, third, bring that back foot up along with our weight, like this. Okay, you see the difference between this, shifting the weight forward and then bringing the back leg? We're bringing the weight along with this leg, for now. We'll talk about different strategies in the future. And that's all you're doing. I want you to move through first, second, third position. First, do them in an isolated way. Videotape yourself doing them. Check for any of those errors. Then put them together into movement and stay vigilant on any of those safety problems. The last footwork issue that comes up, when you get moving a little faster, you'll notice that you might have a tendency to cut that foot in. So don't do that, right? So here we are in our second position, and you step forward into third, and you're really excited, but as you can see, I cut the foot in like this. Make sure you don't cut your foot in. Make sure you keep your feet nice and straight there behind it the whole time. So that's all your basics for your beginner footwork. If you're just getting started, if maybe I sent you this video to get started on your beginner footwork, that's a full day for you. So do 2 hours of moving forward and backward, combining those things, taking breaks, stretching, and really grinding those gears on how that footwork is supposed to work. And record a couple of videos for us. You can check them yourself, and then whichever ones you're satisfied with, send them in, and I'll check them out. So hope to see you guys soon.